All right, welcome back to the Roast It Yourself podcast, brought to you by Coffee Bean Corral and Current Crop Roasting Shop. I'm Catherine Mansell with Current Crop Roasting Shop, and with me, as always, is Stephen Burnett, roaster, quality control podcast person from Coffee Bean Corral. How's everything going in Jackson?
It's going great. It's going great. It's fun to be on this side of the intro. Like, I love it. I love it. Yes. Well, you got to practice up for that, because I believe we've got a solo episode coming out with you soon. We're not going to talk about it.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about it. It's not really a solo. It's just it's an interview of some sort. So yeah, you got to get the reps in. Okay. We're doing great. We're doing great up here. We are enjoying again, like should have some weather this weekend, so we'll see. I'm trying to find gloves for my toddler, like snow gloves. Hard to do. Target near me has a bunch of very bright pink ones. We may resort to that. But I'm going to check one more place to see if they have just some generic, like black or whatever ones that he can wear, because he's got to play in the snow. If it happens, he's got to be able to, without his fingers freezing off. So that's what we're working on right now.
Yeah. Well, back in the day, a grandmother would crochet those things.
Right.
Too bad nobody really does that.
Right. We have a friend that does crochet, but there are mittens, but she crochets, and she's made him a little jacket before. The problem is with crochet and a little kid, by the time you get the thing done, they're already like outgrown it. Like they've already outgrown the thing. So it's a one wear, which is like, dang, a next kid will have that one then. Each week, we set aside about 10 minutes to field questions from coffee roasters and professionals alike about roasting, tasting, and most importantly, enjoying coffee. You can send your questions to questions@riypod.com. That's questions@riypod.com to get a nice shout out from us in an upcoming episode, and of course, to get your question answered. This week's question, it comes from Greg Z, who writes, I have been roasting on a DIY roaster for years and recently purchased a Bullet R2, which I am loving so far. With the Bullet, I've been roasting about 250 grams of Kenya AA and seem to have found a profile that works well. Without using a lot of beans for experimentation, how would one determine the settings needed to increase the batch size to 1.5 pounds? On one of your podcasts, Catherine mentioned 1.5 pounds seems to be the sweet spot for the Bullet. By the way, I came across your podcast a few weeks ago and have found them to be very interesting and informative. Thanks, Craig. Greg, thank you very much. Great question. Catherine, this is going to be right in your wheelhouse here. This is the Bullet question. And so 250, so we've got our settings perfect, dialed in, beautiful for 250. How do we go from that to 1.5 pounds?
So if you have a profile that is set with the weight and all of your curves are correct and everything is set up and ready to go, the biggest thing that's going to change is your preheat temperature. Because going from around 8 ounces of coffee to 1.5 pounds of coffee, even though the profile is going to be similar, the preheat temperature is going to be quite a bit more. So say you're roasting that Kenyan AA and you have 8 ounces going in, maybe your preheat temperature is 400 degrees, 419 degrees. Going up to 1.5 pounds, your preheat temperature is going to have to be anywhere between like 464 or higher, because it's still going to react the same way, except for there's so much more beans in there that to get them to run that same profile, the preheat temperature is just going to have to be higher. So that's what I've done over the past few years in logging all of my roasts is each region, each country, each process, there is a set profile that I have already created that I know is working for those coffees. So say I have a Kenyan AA for a city roast. The next time I need to roast something from Kenya or a wash process from Africa, I will go to that profile if I'm keeping the same roast level and tweak it as I go. But if you're sticking with the same bean, really the only experiments that you need to run is how high of a preheat temperature you need to keep the same profile to where the phases are breaking down in the same way. You're still going for the same taste. You're just adding more beans to it. So the first thing I would do is increase the preheat temperature and then play back the roast. So you're going to see if the roaster is going to make the same changes that you made when you had your original profile, and you're going to watch it because I overlay when I play back. So if you hit playback, it's going to ask you to overlay the profile as well. So you'll see your profile that you've already done and set on the background. And then playback means it's just going to make the same changes, but you'll still be able to see what's happening with the new roast with the old roast in the background. So you'll know you'll have to adjust going forward if your lines and your curves aren't reacting the same way. Because they should if you have your preheat temperature to the correct temperature.
Mm-hmm. About how much should he look to should he, increase it? We're talking 50 degrees. Like how much should he increase the preheat temperature for the first go round? Exactly.
By at least, let's see, by at least 80 degrees, okay. I think. Not 80, no, by at least 50 degrees, 50 or 60
Nailed
degrees.
That. Awesome.
Because 8 ounces, you may even, let's see, with 8 ounces, you would start off relatively low. So say you started at 400 degrees. Normally for me, for a pound and a half, 464 is pretty great. So going up about 60 degrees with your preheat temperature should be where you need to go.
And I just want to pop in here and say that there is going to be experimentation, but I just don't view this is an experimental roast. This is a roast that I will drink and enjoy. I'm going to drink all of it because I have not made a terrible roast of coffee in quite a while at this point. Even my mess ups are okay, well, it's still okay. It's still fine, drinkable. So don't look at it as wasted coffee, even if it's not exactly what you want it to be in that AA. But yeah, it's good. It's going to take some experimentation. It's going to take some tweaking and some good notes. If you want that repeatability, which you do, you got the bullet, and you've taken the time to dial in that 250. It's gonna be different, and you're gonna have to take a little bit of or do some give and take anyway with your expectations for the first couple of roasts. But this is kind of that back this is the question of is it better? A lot of people start with a smaller charge than they plan to use when they get the machine to learn it. And that makes so much sense in some ways, but it does mean you've got 2 learning curves where you learn the machine and then you have to relearn the profile. And now, granted, if it's as simple as make an adjustment to the preheat, then that's not that big of a lift. So maybe that's okay. But that is the way out, right? Do I start with the full load that I want to use and just figure that out, and then it's just kind of one thing? Which is, by the way, I'm gonna go ahead and plug seasoning beans. I'm gonna plug seasoning beans right now. We have beans that it's sweep the kitchen. Basically anything that we don't know what this bucket of coffee is, seasoning beans. This one's kind of old, seasoning beans. A customer return, been out in a truck for a month, seasoning beans, right? So seasoning beans is anything and everything. No 2 bags of seasoning beans are the same, but they're cheaper. And they're designed not really to drink. It's designed for you to be able to practice your roast, to season your new roaster, and all that kind of stuff. So that way the loss isn't quite as much as it would be if you're using good coffee. Go ahead.
Last thing, Greg, depending on how much you increase, if you go to a pound and a half, the roast is going to be a tad bit longer. So you'll see your profile stretch out a little bit more. But really keep in mind how long you're staying in each phase. Up at the top, when you see the green, yellow, and red, that'll help you stay pretty consistent with your profile as you're adjusting and adding more beans.
And you're talking about percentages. So like you want 50% in that drying phase, and then 20 or 30% in the yellow, that kind of thing. Whatever your proportions were, keep it proportionate. Okay. That's great. Catherine, do you want to do the closeout?
I do.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Thank you for the question, Greg. I hope our answers helped. Stephen, do you think we left anything
I
out?
mean, I don't think you did. I think I probably left some stuff out. I think I could have filled in some gaps there.
All right, listeners, if you have a different perspective or think we dropped the ball on this or that, on our answer or Stephen's answers, get in the comments. Let us know so you can sleep well at night and everything can get better. We hope you enjoyed this episode as much as we enjoyed making it. And if you did, please leave us a rating and review on whatever platform you found us on. We're excited to watch the Roast It Yourself podcast grow and reach more and more folks, but we can't do that without you. Also, be sure to like and follow our social media accounts for Coffee Bean Corral, Current Crop, and of course, the Roast It Yourself podcast. And links can be found in the show notes. We couldn't do this without the folks who handle our audio, video, and graphic work for the podcast, making us look and sound good. Thank you for all you do week in and week out that makes this podcast a reality. Remember to send any questions you have about coffee in general or coffee roasting in particular to questions@riypod.com. Have a great day and happy roasting.
Thanks, Greg.